Welcome back to Saving the Republic with Joe Staten, presented by Grab Your Gear Network, where we speak to people who get up and work hard every single day. Merit shop, trade workers, this channel, this network is for you. On this show here on Saving the Republic, we cover 3 or so usually news stories that the news cycle is not covering for the day. Make sure you check out all of our content offerings on our social media pages at Grab Your Gear on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Now, without further ado, let's get into today's news. Now, as you might expect, we have another election update. Okay, we're in the most heated, probably the most consequential election, presidential election in American history, in recent history. We always hear that. It's cliche, say it's the most important election, But legitimately, this is the most important election, I think, in American history. We couldn't have two more different views of the future of this country. Kamala Harris, for what she says, that she's not a communist, her policies would beg to differ. She has pushed in the past for decriminalizing illegal border crossings, effectively ending the idea of illegal immigration, just open borders, mass migration into America, completely destroying our cultural identity. She has argued for mandatory buybacks, or what is also termed as gun confiscation. She has also fought for policies that would allow illegal immigrants to receive taxpayer-funded health care. Okay? These policies are simply not sustainable for the United States of America, period. And so we have two completely divergent viewpoints. And this is what we like to talk about in the show. I like to tie in cultural issues, the cultural undercurrent, though. I like to tie in ideology, even religion, because ultimately it does affect the way we see the world. Worldviews affect how we see politics. And if we want to change the culture, if we want to change the future of this country, we have to examine our spiritual understanding and our understanding of the world, which also means worldview. But without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at some of today's news stories that you might not have heard about. First one I want to go to is something very interesting here. And as you can see, Arizona, Maricopa County in specific, which is a county that will decide the outcome of the Arizona electoral count for the president, right? In 2020, we saw Joe Biden win the state by under 15,000 votes. I think it was around 10,000, 12,000 votes. And it all came down to Maricopa County. Now, why does this matter? Well, if you can check out this tweet here from Eric Daugherty, he says, Maricopa County, Arizona, Republicans now lead Democrats by over 161,000 voters. The GOP has been gaining in Arizona since the 2020 election, and the same is true for other vital swing states. The GOP lead in Maricopa County, the GOP lead in Maricopa is up by around 60,000 voters since October 2020. So the Republicans have increased their lead by 60,000 votes since 2020, and the Democrats won the state by 11,000 votes. Okay, that's pretty big news for Arizona. Arizona is a very consequential state in this election. And let's go ahead and take a look at the poly market odds. We like to check this every single show. Usually, Trump is at about a 53% chance to win. Kamala Harris is at a 46% chance to win. So he's opened up a 7% chance to win, 7% lead over Kamala Harris here on the electoral map odds. And if you look here, it is because Arizona has swung to 60-40 for Trump, which is a significant lead. Nevada, even at 52%. Georgia, leaning heavily toward Trump at 57%. North Carolina, same thing, 60-40. Pennsylvania, 53-47. And Wisconsin and Michigan here are still very much in reach for Trump. With all that being said, these states are also very much in reach for Kamala Harris. But this is what you have to keep in mind. Okay, she is about to go on the debate stage. News broke about 2 hours ago that she finally accepted the debate rules for Tuesday with the former president, basically after trying to force him to accept rules to allow unmuted microphones, which is kind of ironic because, as some of you know, this is something that Trump would push for in the past, is unmuted microphones, right? The ability to interject, interrupt, correct somebody. He's notorious for his sparring ability in these debates, but no, it was actually Kamala Harris pushing for this rule, and the reason is because she wants to be able to have her moment, excuse me, I'm speaking, Mr. Vice President or Mr. President, that we saw in the presidential debate. Sheer rudeness and just lack of decency and decorum there from Kamala Harris in the 2020 vice presidential debates. If you've not seen those clips, I would encourage you to go check them out. But she's going to be on the debate stage next week. And what we're going to see with this debate, in my opinion, is I wouldn't say it will be as disastrous as it was for Joe Biden, but I will say it will be disastrous for Kamala Harris. And the reason is that many of you already know this, but she cannot go off script. She just cannot. And she has these weird, word scramble moments where she's making up words. She's making jokes that don't make any sense. It just doesn't hit right. A normal person kind of listens to her and is like, what is she talking about? I know there's a meme about her with like a coconut tree that has gone around. It's just like, she doesn't make sense. She's unlikable as a candidate. Nothing against her as a person. I don't know Kamala Harris, but she's an unlikable candidate. It's her personality. It's the arrogance. It's like somebody who you met somebody and they try to act like they know something, but they don't know it. Like they are trying to explain something to you. I don't know if you guys ever had this situation. They try to explain something to you, and it's like that they don't know what they're talking about, but they still try to explain it to you. That's what happens with Kamala Harris. And that's what we're going to see on the debate stage on Tuesday. And we're going to see a poll shift, period. There's no scenario. I'm sorry. There's literally zero chance that Kamala comes out of that debate and gains any momentum. There's no chance. I mean, short of Trump literally stroking out on stage or something insane like that, she's not going to get a bump in the polls. It's going to hurt her. And so time will tell. It'll be interesting to see how far she does take a hit in the polls. But taking a look here at Nate Silver's comments, in addition to Pennsylvania, Michigan has become something of an issue for Harris. National polls and polls of other swing states mostly decent for Harris, but the erosion in Pennsylvania and Michigan hurts a lot in the model. And as you can see, the model has, I don't know if it's going to show in these pictures, but the Nate Silver model, which he's with 538, has Trump at a 58% chance to win the election, Harris at a 42% chance. This is after the DNC, okay? You guys understand this? This is after the Democrat National Convention, and her polls are taking a hit. It makes you wonder, how is this person the nominee for president? Well, I know we all know how it happened. They forced Joe into a room, took him out behind the bar, and said, look, you're going to do what we're going to tell you to do, or you're going to get 25th Amendment. Amendmented, if you can say that as a verb. So things aren't looking too hot for Mrs. Harris, okay? And this is what I keep saying on the show. I'm not a doom and gloom type of person. If anybody knows me, I'm an eternal optimist. But I'm a realist, and I know that just like John F. Kennedy, just like Robert Kennedy, just like Donald Trump, they just tried to get rid of Trump. I do not know what's going to happen after this debate when her polls take a massive hit, when Trump becomes the runaway favorite for the president yet again. Hold on to your seats. That's all I'm going to say. Hold on to your seats, because I suspect that people that are in power that do not like Donald Trump, they do not like the United States of America, they do not like our national sovereignty, they don't like the way of life that we stand for, okay? It's so beautiful. What America has to offer is so beautiful. To allow anybody to make something of themselves, to chase their dream, to build a life of liberty, to own a home, to own land, to make something of themselves. Reading about the early days of the Republic, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, they loved the idea of the citizens of this country owning a stake in it, owning land. They viewed it as a country of farmers. And, that's really, of course, differed from the Federalist view, like Hamilton, the guys who wanted a more powerful national government, a more commercialized society, industrialized. They wanted the aristocracy to be ruling over, as they believed that, men needed to be enlightened, liberally educated, disinterested is what they called it. But nonetheless, even Alexander Hamilton will tell you over my shoulder here, but especially Thomas Jefferson, their view of this country, their vision was that we all could have a stake in this country. We could all own land. We could all have our say. It's such a beautiful thing. No other country has ever stood for, to the degree that we have, individual liberty, individual opportunity. You know, I guess you could call it manifest destiny, whatever you want to term it. It's an amazing thing that we have here in these United States. And it's something that we should not take lightly, you know? When Trump says he loves this country, he does love this country. Is his ego involved? Of course. Just like everybody's ego is involved with anything they do. Maybe more with Donald Trump, but he loves the country. And that's why I support Trump. That's why many of you support Trump, is because he loves these United States. He wants to maintain this nation. And this is something that, you know, I don't understand why, and I guess I'm kind of ranting at this point, but hopefully you guys can concur with what I'm saying. You know, we have such a beautiful culture. America has a culture. From its early days, you know, we were a multicultural nation. We had so many immigrants coming from Europe, you know, Ireland, Italy, Greece, all these different types of immigrants. Even they even came over here when the Northwest Territory was being founded and settled, you know? But we still had a national identity. We had a unified vision. We had a unified spiritual connection to each other and to God. And this is what's lacking today, you know? And it's what we have to tap into to reclaim this country. It is. You know, I would encourage each and every one of you watching this video to really tap into your spiritual life, you know? Ask yourself a question. Am I right with God? Am I pursuing him? You know, he is the ultimate truth. The beauty in that book, the Bible, is that it's the ultimate objective truth. It does not change. For you, for me, for George Washington, for Jefferson, for Kamala Harris. It does not change for anybody. And the morality in that book is what has set forth the greatest experiment in human history, the most prosperous nation. And I think it's an amazing testament to say this book is the truth because look at its fruit. Look at it. Look at the nation. Look, everybody in the whole world wants to come to the United States of America. Everybody. All these immigrants want to come here. Why is that? Because we give opportunity. We protect liberty. We protect the image bearers of God. That's what we do. It's great. It's worth fighting for. It's worth supporting. It's worth being proud. And we need to be vigilant. So the last thing I want to talk about in today's show, is this clip here. Trump's on Sean Hannity's town hall. So just go ahead and check this out.
In my view, is early voting's about to start, and I don't know how many Americans are truly familiar with her positions of decriminalizing illegal immigration and free housing, health care, education. Tim Walz wants free college education, legal driver's licenses.
I was so honored today.
And she wants a path to citizenship.
His brother endorsed me.
I saw that.
And his whole family. I saw the picture. And honestly, it was a very nice looking.
If you look it up here, so Trump's saying that Tim Walz's family endorsed him. If you look it up, right here, Tim Walz's family from Nebraska all wearing Trump shirts and having the Trump flag in the background. So, just an amazing thing. You know, it's tough to say what God's will is until it happens, right? But you have to believe that there is such a great awakening happening right now. You know, patriots are coming together. Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr., independents from all across the spectrum are coming together behind these ideas that we love as Americans. Civil liberties, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, individual liberty. You know, the ability to worship whoever you want to worship, the ability to speak your mind, the ability to decide what you want to teach your kids, the ability to decide what you want to put in your body. You know, medication. You guys can know where I'm going with that. These are the things that we love. We love being able to own land. We love being able to have peaceful communities. We love a prosperous commercial society. These are the things we love as Americans. We love it. We love our country. And that's what people are coming together to fight for in this election. And I think it's going to work out right for us. We all need to pray. We need to be thankful every single day. But I think it's going to work out. You know, in the end, good does always prevail at the ultimate end of the day. So, as Sean Hannity says, I'm not going to steal a slogan, but let not your heart be troubled today. If you guys enjoyed the show, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts. Check out Grab Your Gear on all of our socials, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And with that being said, I will see you all on the next show on Friday. Take care.